Have you ever looked around and wondered why life seems to move so easily for everyone else while your own path feels full of delays, disappointments, and unanswered prayers? Have you ever asked yourself, Ya Allah, what am I doing wrong? If you have, then stay with me until the end, because what you are about to hear may completely change the way you see every hardship in your life. Sometimes the greatest blessing does not arrive wrapped in happiness. Sometimes it comes disguised as pain. Sometimes Allah closes one door after another, not because He wants to punish you, but because He is protecting you from walking into a future that would destroy your heart, your faith, and your relationship with Him. As Muslims, we often think that success means getting what we want immediately. We believe that if Allah loves us, everything should become easier. But the Quran teaches us something very different. Allah reminds us that He knows what we do not know. He sees what is hidden while we only see what is in front of us. A delay is not always a denial. A hardship is not always a punishment. A closed door is not always the end of your story. Every prophet experienced moments where life seemed impossible. Prophet Nuh preached for centuries with very few followers. Prophet Ibrahim was thrown into the fire. Prophet Yusuf was betrayed by his own brother, sold into slavery, and imprisoned despite his innocence. Prophet Musa stood in front of the sea with an army behind him. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad lost his parents at a young age, buried his children, faced rejection, poverty, and persecution before victory ever arrived. If Allah's most beloved servants experienced hardship before honor, then why should we expect our own journey to be free from struggle? The truth is that Allah prepares His servants before He elevates them. A seed must first disappear beneath the soil before it becomes a tree. Gold must pass through intense fire before it shines. A diamond forms only after enormous pressure. Likewise, Allah often shapes your character before He changes your circumstances. Many people pray only for blessings. Few pray for the strength to carry those blessings. Yet Allah, in His infinite wisdom, prepares both. Imagine giving the keys to a powerful car to someone who has never learned to drive. The gift itself could become dangerous. In the same way, if Allah were to grant every dream immediately, many of us would become arrogant, distracted, or distant from Him. Preparation is mercy. Delay is mercy. Correction is mercy. Even pain can be mercy. One of the greatest misconceptions is believing that Allah has forgotten you because your life has become difficult. Nothing could be further from the truth. Allah never forgets His servants, not for a single second. Every tear that falls from your eyes is known to Him. Every silent prayer whispered late at night reaches Him. Every heartbreak you hide from the world is already seen by the One who created your heart. Sometimes we mistake silence for absence, but Allah's silence is often preparation. Think about the life of Prophet Yusuf. As a young boy, Allah showed him a beautiful dream. That dream promised greatness. Yet before that promise became reality, Yusuf had to endure betrayal, separation from his father, slavery, temptation, false accusations, and years inside prison. Imagine if Yusuf had judged Allah's promise while sitting inside that prison cell. He might have thought the dream was impossible. But Allah was writing a story that Yusuf himself could not yet understand. Every painful chapter was leading him toward becoming the ruler of Egypt. Without the well, there would have been no palace. Without prison, there would have been no throne. Sometimes your prison is preparing your palace. Sometimes your tears are watering tomorrow's blessings. This is why a believer never loses hope. Not because life is always easy, but because Allah is always in control. There are moments when your plans fall apart so perfectly that only years later do you realize they had to. Perhaps you lost a job you desperately wanted. Perhaps someone walked away from your life. Perhaps your business failed. Perhaps your dream collapsed overnight. You cried. You questioned everything. Yet today, when you look back, you realize that had those events never happened, you would never have become the person you are now. Allah was not destroying your future. He was redirecting it. One of the most beautiful qualities of a believer is trusting Allah before understanding Him. Anyone can trust after seeing results. Faith begins before the results appear. That is why the Quran repeatedly calls believers to patience. Patience is not sitting and doing nothing. Patience means continuing to obey Allah even when your circumstances tempt you to give up. It means praying when you feel empty. It means making dua when you have seen no answer. It means choosing halal when haram seems easier. It means believing Allah's promise even when every visible sign appears against you. That kind of faith transforms a human being, and Allah loves hearts that remain connected to Him in every season. Many people become close to Allah only after losing something they love. At first they think the loss ruined their life. Then they realize it saved their souls. How many people discovered tahajjud because of heartbreak? How many people memorized Quran after losing a loved one? How many people returned to Sulla because everything else failed. What looked like destruction became guidance. What looked like loneliness became closeness to Allah. Perhaps that is happening in your own life right now. Perhaps this difficult season is not your ending. Perhaps it is your invitation. An invitation to know Allah more deeply than ever before. An invitation to depend upon Him instead of depending upon people. An invitation to discover a strength you never knew existed inside you. Allah does not waste pain. Every hardship has a purpose. Every delay has wisdom. Every trial carries hidden gifts. Sometimes those gifts are visible in this life. Sometimes they remain reserved for the hereafter, where every moment of patience will be rewarded beyond imagination. Imagine standing before Allah on the day of judgment and discovering that the hardship you begged Him to remove became the very reason your scale of good deeds outweighed your sins. Imagine learning that the tears you cried in secret became pearls of reward that never disappear. Imagine realizing that every unanswered prayer was actually answered in a better way than you could have imagined. This world is only one chapter. The story does not end here. Allah sees the complete picture while we see only one page. That is why believers continue moving forward even when they cannot see the destination, because they trust the author of their story. Maybe you have been comparing your journey with someone else's. You see their success, their wealth, their merit, their career, their happiness, but you never see the battles they fight when nobody is watching. Comparison steals gratitude. Comparison blinds you to Allah's unique plan for your life. The believer understands that Allah writes every story differently. Some people receive quickly, others receive later. Some are tested through poverty, others through wealth, some through sickness, others through health. Every soul has its own examination. The goal is not to have the easiest test. The goal is to pass the test Allah has chosen specifically for you. So if your road feels longer than everyone else's, remember this. The tallest buildings require the deepest foundation. The strongest believers often endure the hardest preparation. Your current season may not make sense today, but one day, if Allah wills, you will look back and whisper through grateful tears, "Now I understand." And when that day comes, every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer, every disappointment, and every painful lesson will become part of a masterpiece that only Allah could have written. There is another truth that many people never realize until much later in life. Allah often removes what is comfortable before He gives what is meaningful. This can be one of the hardest experiences for any believer because we naturally become attached to people, places, routines, and dreams. We begin to believe that our happiness depends on them. Yet Allah, who knows the secrets of every heart, sometimes gently or suddenly takes those things away. At first, it feels unbearable. You wonder why someone you loved walked away. You wonder why a career you worked so hard for suddenly disappeared. You wonder why your plans collapse just when everything seemed to be coming together. Questions fill your mind, and answers seem impossible to find. But Allah is teaching you something greater than success. He is teaching you dependence upon Him. There is a difference between loving Allah and depending on Allah. Many people say they love Allah, yet when something in this world is taken from them, they feel as though life has ended. This shows how deeply the heart had become attached to creation instead of the Creator. Allah loves a heart that returns to Him. Every hardship becomes an invitation. Every disappointment becomes a doorway. Every tear becomes a conversation with your Lord. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not that Allah changes your circumstances. Sometimes the greatest miracle is that He changes your heart while your circumstances remain exactly the same. There are people who have everything the world offers but cannot sleep peacefully at night. They possess wealth beyond imagination, luxurious homes, expensive cars, successful careers, and admiration from millions of people, yet inside they feel empty. Then there are believers who own very little, yet their hearts overflow with peace because they know Allah is enough. That peace cannot be purchased. It cannot be inherited. It cannot be found in status or popularity. It is a gift from Allah to those who place their trust in Him. Perhaps this is why some of Allah's greatest blessings arrive after seasons of loneliness. When nobody else understands you, Allah reminds you that He understands every thought before you even speak it. When everyone else leaves, Allah remains. When every worldly support disappears, Allah is still Al-Waqi, the perfect trustee. Think about how many times you survived situations you once believed would destroy you. You cried, you felt broken, you thought your future had ended. Yet somehow, Allah carried you through every single one of those moments. If He carried you then, why would He abandon you now? He would not. Allah's mercy does not expire. His wisdom does not fail. His promises never break. The problem is that we often expect Allah to work according to our timetable. We say, "Ya Allah, I need this today." But Allah knows whether today would bless you or break you. Imagine asking a doctor for medicine before the right diagnosis has been made. A good doctor refuses because giving the wrong treatment at the wrong time could cause more harm than good. Allah is infinitely wiser than any doctor. His timing is perfect even when it feels painful. There is a beautiful lesson hidden inside every delay. Delay teaches patience. Patience strengthens faith. Faith brings closeness to Allah. And closeness to Allah is worth more than every worldly achievement combined. Ask yourself this question honestly. If Allah gave you everything you wanted but your heart became distant from Him, would that truly be success? The answer is no. Real success is standing before Allah on the day of judgment and hearing words of acceptance from your Lord. Everything else is temporary. This world passes. Youth passes. Beauty passes. Money passes. Popularity passes. Even our own lives pass. Only our deeds remain. This is why Allah sometimes slows your journey. He wants your soul to arrive before your success does. Imagine reaching a destination without having learned the lessons needed to stay there. Many people pray for wealth but are not ready for its responsibility. Many pray for influence but have not yet developed humility. Many ask Allah for marriage but have not become the kind of spouse they themselves are praying for. Preparation matters. Allah prepares His servants with wisdom that cannot always be seen immediately. Sometimes He teaches you gratitude through scarcity. Sometimes He teaches you courage through fear. Sometimes He teaches you forgiveness through betrayal. Sometimes He teaches you sincerity through loneliness. Every lesson becomes another brick in the foundation Allah is building beneath your future. The believer begins to see hardship differently. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? The believer asks, what is Allah teaching me through this? That single question changes everything. Instead of becoming bitter, you become wiser. Instead of becoming hopeless, you become patient. Instead of becoming angry, you become grateful. Gratitude during hardship is one of the most beautiful forms of worship because it demonstrates complete trust in Allah's wisdom. Anyone can thank Allah after receiving a blessing. The believer thanks Allah even before seeing the blessing because faith tells him that Allah never acts without wisdom. One day, you may discover that the opportunity you lost protected you from enormous regret. The relationship that ended may have saved your faith. The job you didn't get may have prevented years of misery. The journey that was delayed may have protected your life. Only Allah knows the unseen. Only Allah sees tomorrow. We see moments. Allah sees lifetime. How many times have you looked back and realized that something you desperately wanted would actually have harmed you? At the time, you cried because Allah said no. Later, you thanked Him for that very answer. This is why believers continue making dua even when they don't understand the outcome. Every sincere dua receives Allah's attention. Sometimes Allah grants exactly what you ask for. Sometimes He replaces it with something better. Sometimes He stores the reward for the hereafter. Sometimes He protects you by withholding what would have hurt you. In every case, Allah responds with perfect knowledge. Never believe that your prayers disappear into silence. Allah hears every whispered word. Every tear that falls while making dua is known to Him. Every moment of hope reaches Him. Nothing is lost. Nothing is forgotten. Even if years pass before your prayer is answered, Allah has been listening from the very first moment you raised your hand. There is incredible beauty in trusting a Lord whose wisdom has never failed. Every sunrise arrives on time. Every season changes exactly when Allah commands. Every heartbeat continues only because He allows it. Every star remains in its place because of His power. If Allah governs the entire universe with absolute perfection, then surely He can also govern your life with perfect wisdom. Do not allow temporary pain to convince you that your story is over. Many of the greatest chapters begin after the darkest nights. A believer walks forward with hope not because life is predictable but because Allah is trustworthy. And perhaps, at this very moment, while you are wondering why everything feels uncertain, Allah is arranging people, opportunities, protection, and blessings that you cannot yet see. Your responsibility is not to know the future. Your responsibility is to remain faithful until Allah reveals it. Sometimes the greatest preparation is invisible. It happens quietly inside your heart where Allah is replacing fear with certainty, weakness with strength, impatience with trust, and despair with hope. One day, when you stand where Allah intended you to be all along, you may finally understand why every delay, every hardship, every unanswered question, and every lonely night was never meant to destroy you. They were preparing you for something far greater than you ever imagined.